There are moments in life when the weight of the world feels unbearable, when the tears won't stop falling and the pain echoes deep in your soul. You wonder if anyone sees your suffering, if anyone hears your silent cries, but I want you to know this: God sees it all. He hears you. He knows every ache in your heart, every wound in your spirit, and every worry that keeps you awake at night. Today, I invite you to release it all. Surrender the burdens, the fears, and the struggles. Leave it in God's hands, because His love for you is infinite, and His wisdom surpasses all understanding. God knows your struggles before you even speak them, before a single word leaves your lips, before a tear rolls down your cheek, before you even fully understand what you're feeling. He already knows. He sees the burdens you carry in silence, the worries that keep you awake at night, the pain you try so hard to hide. Nothing is hidden from Him, and nothing about your suffering is unnoticed. There is great comfort in knowing that you do not have to explain yourself to God. You do not have to find the perfect words to describe your pain. You do not have to struggle to be understood, because He already understands. Before you even come to Him in prayer, He has seen the storm in your heart. He has felt your loneliness, your grief, your uncertainty. He knows the disappointments that have worn you down. He knows the dreams you've had to let go of, the relationships that have hurt you, the battles you have fought alone, and He is with you through it all. Sometimes we feel like we must handle everything on our own. We think that if we just try harder, push through, or act like everything is fine, we will somehow make it. But God never intended for us to carry our burdens alone. He is always inviting us to lay them down at His feet, to trust Him with the things we don't understand, and to allow Him to work in ways we cannot yet see. You may feel like no one notices your struggles, like no one truly sees the depth of what you are going through, but God does. Even in the quiet moments when you sit in silence, feeling the weight of life pressing down on you, He is there. Even in the moments when you feel like no one hears your cry for help, He is listening. He is not distant or indifferent. He is close, closer than you can imagine. Think about a loving parent who watches over their child. That parent knows when the child is hurting even before they say a word. They can see the sadness in their eyes, hear the hesitation in their voice, feel the weight of their unspoken pain. And out of love, they step in to comfort, to support, to heal. Now imagine how much more deeply God, the Creator of all things, understands you. He knows not only what you are going through, but also why. He sees the bigger picture, the road ahead, the blessings that will come from the trials you face today. There are times when we don't even know what to pray for. We feel lost, overwhelmed, or too exhausted to put our emotions into words. But even then, God knows. The Bible tells us that the Holy Spirit intercedes for us with groanings too deep for words, Romans 8:26. This means that even when we don't know what to say, our very spirit is communicating with God, and He understands. You never have to worry that your pain is too complicated, too messy, or too heavy for Him. He is not afraid of your struggles. He is not burdened by your burdens. He welcomes you as you are with open arms, ready to carry what you can. Trusting that God already knows your struggles allows you to surrender. You don't have to fight so hard to be heard. You don't have to prove your worth or beg for His attention. You already have it. He is already moving on your behalf, already working things out for your good, even when you can't see it yet. This is why faith is so powerful. It allows you to rest, to breathe, to let go of the need to control every outcome. It reminds you that even when life feels uncertain, God is certain. If you are in a season of struggle right now, take comfort in knowing that you are not alone. God has never left your side, and He never will. He sees every effort you make, every challenge you face, and every tear you cry. He knows what weighs on your heart, and He is already preparing the way forward. Even when it feels like nothing is changing, trust that He is working behind the scenes, aligning things for your good in ways you cannot yet imagine. Take a moment now to breathe deeply, release your worries into His hands. Trust that He has heard you, even before you've spoken. Let the peace of knowing that you are fully seen and deeply loved fill your heart. You are not forgotten, and your struggles are not unnoticed. God is with you always, guiding you through every storm, holding you through every trial, and leading you toward healing, joy, and peace. Pain is not the end of your story. It may feel like it now, like the weight of your sorrow is too heavy to bear, like the hurt will never fade, like this chapter of your life is all there is. But pain is not where your journey ends. It is only a passage, a temporary moment in time, a bridge that leads you to something greater. When we are in the middle of suffering, it is easy to believe that things will never change. The heartbreak, the loss, the disappointment, it all feels permanent. You may look around and wonder why others seem to be thriving while you are struggling just to make it through the day. But what you cannot see in this moment is how much strength is being built within you. Every challenge, every hardship, every tear you have shed is shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Pain has a way of making us feel small, of making us doubt ourselves and our future. But God never intended for pain to break you. He intends for it to build you, to teach you, to lead you into a deeper understanding of yourself and of His plan for your life. The moments of suffering are not meant to define you. They are meant to refine you. They are not the conclusion of your journey, but rather the preparation for something more beautiful than you can imagine. Think about the times in your life when you have faced hardship before. Maybe there was a time when you thought you wouldn't make it through, when the pain seemed too great, when the situation felt impossible. And yet, here you are. You survived, you grew, you found strength you didn't even know you had. That same strength is within you now, even if you can't feel it yet. One of the greatest lies pain tells us is that we are alone. That no one understands, that no one cares, that no one sees what we are going through. But you are never alone. God sees every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of despair. He walks with you through the darkest valleys, guiding you even when you don't realize it. He does not abandon His children, and He has not abandoned you. There is a season for everything in life. Just as the sun rises after the darkest night, joy follows sorrow. The pain you are feeling now will not last forever. It may take time, but healing is coming, peace is coming, restoration is coming. The chapter you are in today is not the final page of your story. There are still new beginnings ahead, still love to be found, still happiness waiting for you on the other side of this struggle. Think about a caterpillar. In its cocoon, it is surrounded by darkness, trapped in what seems like an ending. But that darkness is not a tomb, it is a transformation. And in time, that same creature emerges as something new, something stronger, something more beautiful than before. Your pain is not your end, it is your transformation. When we go through suffering, we often ask, why me? It's natural to question, to wonder why we must endure certain hardships. But instead of asking why, what if we asked, what is this teaching me? How is this shaping me? Where is this leading me? Because even in pain, there is purpose. Every challenge you face is preparing you for something greater. Every struggle is molding you into the person you are meant to become. You may not see the purpose right now, and that's okay. You are not meant to have all the answers at this moment, but trust that one day you will look back and see how everything, the pain, the struggle, the loss, was leading you to a place of greater wisdom, deeper love, and unshakable faith. The most beautiful stories are not the ones without pain. They are the ones where pain was overcome, where strength was found in weakness, where light broke through the darkness. And your story is still being written. Do not let this moment of hardship convince you that there is nothing left for you. There is still joy ahead, still love to experience, still dreams to fulfill. Hold on, keep going, even if it feels like you are taking only small steps. Keep moving forward. Each day brings you closer to healing, closer to understanding, closer to the beautiful life that is waiting for you. Pain is not the end of your story. It is just the turning of a page. What comes next is worth holding on for. Letting go is one of the hardest things we can do. We hold on because we fear losing control, because we believe that if we just try a little harder, push a little more, or plan everything perfectly, life will unfold exactly as we want it to. But the truth is, life doesn't always follow our timeline. Things don't always happen when we think they should. And sometimes the greatest gift we can give ourselves is the freedom to surrender, to release our grip, and trust in divine timing. There is a rhythm to life that we cannot always see. Just as the ocean waves ebb and flow, just as the sun rises and sets without our intervention, the universe moves in perfect harmony. Everything unfolds at the right time, in the right way, even when we do not understand it. When we resist this natural flow, we create stress, frustration, and suffering. But when we trust, when we allow things to unfold as they are meant to, we find peace. Think about a seed planted in the soil. It does not rush to grow. It does not demand to bloom before its time. Instead, it trusts the process. First, it takes root in the darkness, hidden beneath the surface where no one can see its progress. Then, when the time is right, it begins to sprout. Slowly, steadily, it reaches toward the light, growing stronger with each passing day. It does not question whether it will become a flower, a tree, or a vine. It simply follows the rhythm of nature. And in doing so, it fulfills its purpose. You too are growing in ways you cannot yet see. The dreams you have, the desires in your heart, the changes you long for, they are all unfolding, even if it seems like nothing is happening. Just because you cannot see movement does not mean things are not shifting beneath the surface. Divine timing is always at work, orchestrating events, aligning opportunities, and preparing you for what is coming next. But trusting divine timing requires patience. And patience is not about waiting anxiously, wondering when things will finally happen. It is about resting in the knowledge that everything is being taken care of. It is about releasing the need to force outcomes and instead allowing life to unfold naturally. When you let go, you make space for miracles. You allow the universe to bring you what is truly meant for you rather than what you are trying to control. Sometimes the things we chase so desperately are not meant for us, and when we hold on too tightly, we block what is truly in alignment with our highest good. But when we release our grip, we open ourselves to something even greater than we imagined. Think about the times in your life when things didn't go as planned. Maybe a relationship ended when you thought it would last forever. Maybe an opportunity slipped through your fingers when you believed it was the perfect fit. At the time, it felt like loss, like disappointment, like failure. But looking back, you may see how it led you to something even better. Maybe that heartbreak made space for real love. Maybe that missed opportunity redirected you toward your true calling. Trusting divine timing does not mean giving up on your dreams. It means releasing the need to control how and when they will happen. It means taking inspired action, but also allowing space for things to fall into place naturally. It means understanding that delays are not denials, and that sometimes what seems like a setback is really a set-up for something greater. The universe has a way of bringing you exactly what you need at the exact right moment. But you must be willing to let go. You must be willing to step back and allow things to flow. You must trust that everything is happening for your highest good, even when you cannot see the full picture. If you are feeling frustrated right now, if you are wondering why things are not happening as quickly as you would like, take a deep breath. Release the tension in your body. Let go of the need to control. Trust that everything is working out in divine order. You do not have to have all the answers today. You do not have to figure everything out on your own. Your job is to stay open, to have faith, to take the steps that feel right, and then to let the universe do the rest. One day you will look back and see how everything aligned perfectly. The people you met, the opportunities that came your way, the timing of it all. It will make sense. Until then, trust, let go, and know that what is meant for you will always find you in its own perfect time. Fear is a powerful force. It whispers doubts in your mind, keeps you awake at night, and holds you back from stepping into the life you were meant to live. Fear makes you question your worth, your abilities, and your future. It paralyzes you, convincing you that you are not strong enough, not capable enough, not ready enough. But there is something even more powerful than fear: faith. Faith transforms fear into strength. Faith is the quiet voice that reminds you that even when you can't see the way, there is a way. It is the belief that something greater is guiding you, that you are not alone in your struggles, and that you are capable of overcoming anything that stands in your path. Faith does not mean that fear disappears. It means that fear no longer controls you. When you walk in faith, you step into a different energy. Instead of asking, what if everything goes wrong, you begin to ask, what if everything goes right? Instead of focusing on what you lack, you focus on what is possible. Instead of doubting yourself, you begin to believe that you are supported, that you are guided, and that you have the strength to face whatever comes your way. Think about the times in your life when you faced uncertainty, when you felt afraid, when you didn't know what to do. Maybe you were at a crossroads, unsure of which path to take. Maybe you faced a challenge that seemed impossible to overcome. Maybe you lost something or someone dear to you, and you didn't know how to move forward, and yet somehow you made it through. You are stronger than you think. The fear that once seemed overwhelming lost its power the moment you chose to trust. The moment you decided to take a step forward even though you were afraid, the moment you let go of needing to control everything and allowed life to unfold. That is the power of faith. Faith is not about having all the answers. It is about believing even when the answers are not clear. It is about trusting even when things don't make sense. It is about knowing deep in your soul that you are never alone, that something greater is always working on your behalf, and that every challenge you face is preparing you for something greater. Fear will always try to convince you to play small. It will tell you that you are not ready, that you might fail, that it is safer to stay where you are. But faith reminds you that growth happens outside of your comfort zone, that you do not need to see the entire path, only the next step. That within you is a well of strength, resilience, and courage waiting to be tapped into. Imagine standing at the edge of a great ocean, uncertain of what lies beyond. Fear tells you to stay on the shore, to play it safe, to never take the risk. But faith tells you to step forward, to trust the waves, to believe that you were meant for something greater than standing still. And as you take that step, something miraculous happens. You realize that you are not sinking, you are walking forward, carried by the very force you once feared. Your fear does not define you. Your faith does. When you choose faith over fear, you begin to see the world differently. You see obstacles as opportunities. You see setbacks as lessons. You see the closed doors as redirections to something even better. You no longer feel trapped by your circumstances because you understand that everything is happening for you, not to you. Strength is not the absence of fear. Strength is moving forward despite it. It is standing tall even when life tries to push you down. It is holding on to hope even in the darkest moments. It is trusting that even when you cannot see the full picture, there is a divine plan unfolding in perfect timing. If you are feeling afraid right now, if you are unsure of what comes next, if you are facing something that feels bigger than you, breathe. Let go of the fear that is weighing you down. Place your trust in something greater. Know that you are guided, that you are protected, that you are strong. Faith is your anchor in the storm. It is the foundation upon which you build your life. It is the light that leads you forward even when the path is unclear. You have a choice. You can let fear hold you back, or you can let faith move you forward. Choose faith. Choose strength. Choose to believe in yourself, in your future, and in the incredible power that lies within you. Because the moment you choose faith, fear loses its power. And that is when you discover just how strong you truly are. There are moments in life when the weight of your pain feels unbearable, when you have cried so many tears that you wonder if they even matter, when you have prayed, hoped, and waited, but nothing seems to change. It feels as though your cries are unheard, as though your suffering is invisible to the world. But I want you to know this: your cry is not in vain. Every tear, every silent prayer, every moment of heartache is seen, heard, and felt, and healing is coming. Pain has a way of making us feel isolated, as if we are alone in our struggles. But you are never truly alone. There is a force greater than your pain, a presence that surrounds you, holding you even when you feel like you are falling apart. It sees what you have been through. It knows your struggles before you even speak them, and even now, in this moment, it is working to bring you healing. Healing does not always come in the way we expect. Sometimes we want instant relief, a quick answer, a sudden shift that takes away all the pain. But true healing is a journey. It is a process of transformation, of growth, of learning to release what no longer serves us and embrace what is meant for us. Healing is not just about fixing what is broken. It is about becoming stronger, wiser, and more whole than ever before. You may feel like your pain will never end, but I promise you this season will pass. The hurt you are feeling today is not permanent. It is not your final chapter. Life moves in cycles, and just as the storm eventually gives way to the sun, your pain will give way to peace. The suffering you feel now is not your destination. It is only part of your journey. Think about a wound on your skin. At first, it is raw, open, and painful, but with time, it begins to heal. The process may be slow, and there may even be scars left behind, but those scars are proof that you survived. They are reminders that what once hurt you no longer has power over you. Emotional healing works the same way. It takes time, patience, and self-compassion. But every day that you wake up and choose to keep going, you are moving closer to your healing. One of the most powerful things you can do is to allow yourself to feel. Do not suppress your pain. Do not pretend that it does not exist. Healing begins when you acknowledge what you have been through, when you honor your emotions instead of pushing them away. It is okay to grieve. It is okay to cry. Your tears are not a sign of weakness. They are proof that your heart is still open, that you are still capable of feeling, of loving, of hoping. But while it is important to feel, it is equally important not to stay in that place of pain forever. Healing requires a shift in perspective. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" Instead of focusing on what was lost, begin to look for what is still possible. The pain of your past does not define you. Your ability to rise, to heal, to grow, that is what defines you. You are stronger than you think. The fact that you are still here, still searching for hope, still holding on to faith, is proof of that strength. No matter how dark things may seem, there is still light ahead. No pain lasts forever. No heartbreak is the end of your story. You are in the process of becoming something greater than you ever imagined. And as you heal, something incredible happens. You become a source of healing for others. The struggles you have faced, the pain you have endured, it all becomes part of your strength. One day you will look back and see how far you have come. You will realize that the tears you cried watered the seeds of your growth. You will see that what once felt like the end was really just the beginning. So hold on, keep believing in your healing, keep moving forward, even if it is one small step at a time. Your pain is not in vain. Your cries have been heard. And healing is coming faster than you think. Trust that the same force that carried you through your darkest nights will guide you into the light. The best days of your life are still ahead of you. There comes a moment in life when you realize that carrying the weight of your worries, fears, and struggles is simply too much. You've tried to fix everything, control every outcome, and force things to happen the way you want, but no matter how hard you try, peace seems to slip through your fingers. You lie awake at night overthinking, replaying conversations, and wondering what you could have done differently. The exhaustion sets in, and you wonder, when will the struggle end? Peace does not come from control. Peace does not come from having everything figured out. Peace comes when you surrender. Surrender does not mean giving up. It does not mean that you stop caring or that you allow life to simply happen to you without any effort. Surrender means releasing the need to control what is beyond your power. It means accepting that there are things you cannot change and trusting that life is unfolding exactly as it should. We have been conditioned to believe that if we just try harder, push more, or plan every detail, we can prevent pain, avoid disappointment, and create the perfect life. But in reality, the tighter we hold on, the more resistance we create. The more we force things, the more we suffer. Surrender is the act of loosening our grip and allowing life to flow naturally. Imagine holding a handful of sand. If you grip it tightly, trying to hold on to every grain, it slips through your fingers. But if you open your palm, the sand simply rests there, without effort, without force. Life works the same way. The more we resist, the more we struggle. But when we surrender, we allow peace to settle into our hearts. Think about the moments in your life when you felt the most at peace. They were likely not the moments when you were trying to control everything, but the moments when you simply allowed yourself to be, when you let go of expectations, when you stopped worrying about what might happen and started embracing what is. Surrender is an act of faith. It is trusting that even when things don't go as planned, they are still working out for your highest good. It is believing that even when doors close, it is not rejection. It is redirection. It is knowing that even in your hardest moments, you are not alone. There is a deep wisdom in surrender. It allows you to release the burden of anxiety, to stop fighting battles that are not yours to fight, and to open yourself up to new possibilities. When you surrender, you stop resisting life and start flowing with it. You stop seeing challenges as obstacles and begin to see them as opportunities for growth. The truth is, you do not have to carry everything alone. You do not have to have all the answers. You do not have to force things to happen on your timeline. Peace is waiting for you the moment you decide to surrender to trust, to let go, and to allow life to unfold in its own divine way. If you find yourself overwhelmed, ask yourself, what am I holding on to that I need to release? What fears, what expectations, what past wounds am I gripping so tightly that they are keeping me from peace? And then take a deep breath and let it go. Let go of the need to control people, outcomes, and circumstances. Let go of the fear that things won't work out. Let go of the belief that you have to struggle in order to be worthy. You are worthy now. You are enough now. You are exactly where you are meant to be. When you surrender, you create space for miracles. You allow love, joy, and abundance to flow into your life effortlessly. You begin to experience a sense of peace that is not based on external circumstances, but on an inner knowing that you are guided, protected, and supported. Surrender does not mean that challenges disappear. It means that they no longer have power over you. It means that you can face them with grace instead of fear, with trust instead of anxiety. It means walking forward with confidence, knowing that whatever happens, you will be okay. So take a deep breath, release the tension in your shoulders. Let go of the worries that are weighing you down. You do not have to carry them anymore. You do not have to figure it all out today. Trust that life is working in your favor. Trust that you are being led to something greater. Trust that peace is not something you have to chase, it is something you allow. And the moment you surrender, the moment you stop resisting, the moment you let go, you will feel it. That deep, unwavering peace that was always waiting for you.